Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or cod, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome everyone to 2022 Talking Fishing. I tell you what, it's been a great break, but we're glad to be back because the fishing is hot. And Adam Ring, we're in a good period.
We are.
The fishing's hot, the weather's hot.
Yep.
Finally we've got summer.
Yep.
The water's warmed up, and how good is this?
Well, we're almost sport for choice.
Yeah.
At this stage, with the kingfish and the tuna and calamari, whiting, there's still a few snapper around. The freshwater's fishing well. It's a good little period around.
Talking fresh water, all the way from Moama, just over the border.
Just over the border.
Tiffany Newton, no stranger to Talking Fishing. You've been on a couple of times before.
Thanks for having me back.
Co-hosting for the next few months.
Yeah, it's been great. So
good to have you. Moama.
Yeah.
Wow.
Great part of the world, but I've been away for a little while travelling, I guess, and clocked up 26,000 k's over the last sort of year travelling. So experiencing all different
stories
types of fish.
to tell over the next 3 months.
Definitely.
Can you tell me approximately how far do you live from the Murray River?
Not that far.
No, you're not.
Yeah, pretty close.
20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I can nearly cast a rod probably.
Out of the bedroom window or something like that. Yeah. Good stuff. And so Tiff, you're with us now. Worth going record numbers.
Oh, amazing.
Amazing, the Worth network, isn't it?
It's always growing. And there's definitely going to be more happening this year as well. So it's great.
The Worth leaders might actually be able to meet each other now.
Yeah, hopefully.
2 years of
a couple of years.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a few, I guess, more at Go Fishing a Gambie on Friday. So there is a Worth event on as well.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about that later in the program. That'd be really good. So, but you're on the doorstep of the Murray cod, yellow belly, silver perch.
Yeah, haven't seen any. I haven't caught any, but definitely
inundated by water skis, I guess.
Yeah.
Like that's hard.
Might have to throw a few sinkers at some of them.
And adds like the saltwater scene. I mean, we're now, the tuna arrived.
Tuna are
on time, and you can walk on them. They're that thick.
Yep.
Yellowtail kingfish, I've got to say, a little bit scarce in the rip, but
they're trying.
Getting there offshore.
They're trying. We've probably seen more kingfish as a bycatch for anglers trolling and casting for tuna, but that's okay. The kings normally take a little bit. The water temperatures they spiked big time. Dave, we've been following the water temperatures closely, and it did spike, which did bring a few kingfish reports, but like every species we encounter with that, once that water stabilises, the kings will come on. But that's going to happen. That's right there.
People can catch us every Saturday morning on 3MP, and Adam, we have been tracking it. And so we saw about 3 weeks ago a 2-degree spike in water temperature in 1 week. 2 degrees is a lot. When you're talking 20 degrees, that's 10%.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a big spike, and the bay warmed up. In fact, it warmed up that much. You and I actually had a swim
in
Saturday
the bay.
before lunch. Saturday before last together. We had a swim in the bay. That doesn't happen very often.
No.
You and I having a swim together. All right, folks, let's have a look at what's been caught by the people at home. It's time for Catch of the Week.
Catch of the Week, brought to you by Shimano.
Now, I wanted to make it relevant and only show what's really been caught in the last week, because there's like about, how many weeks break? We had about 5 weeks off.
Been quite a lot.
Yeah, so lots of old photos, but it's got to be relevant because, different fish are on. So please send us your photos and we'll tell you how in a minute. But have a look at this. D. Lyons got a lovely gummy shark off San Remo.
That's a good fish.
Yeah.
Gotta love the gummies, hey?
Yeah,
Been some cracking gummies out of
Gummies are
Western
interesting.
Port.
I would say we don't get as many reports on gummies as we used to. I think it's just become one of those fish that you just catch.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I had some fresh gummy shark as we went through Lake's entrance the other day to Lake Tyers, and when you get it straight off the boat and cooked to perfection, it was this fish and chip shop, and I think actually every fish and chip shop in Lake's entrance has a sign at the front voted best fish and chip shop in Australia.
Because
they all have the same.
It's real flame.
It's so good. Let's head over to Port Phillip and Werribee. Some beautiful flathead coming from there. Daniel Ball got a 57 centimetre model the other day. How good is that?
It's another success story for Port Phillip Bay over the last couple of years.
Yes.
So the average size of the flatties is creeping up there.
We got one sent today that was caught off Carrum. It'll have to wait till next week because this had already gone to production. But there's some monster flathead being caught.
Nice.
Let alone at Lake Tyers, but in Port Phillip Bay. All right, the tuna scene has been remarkable. I had someone ring me the other day, a good customer, and he said, "Dave, I want you to sell me something because we went out and we had hundreds of tuna out the back of the boat and I couldn't catch one. Can you sell me something that'll catch one?" I said, "No." I said, "Because when they don't want to eat, they don't want to eat. I can't sell you anything that's that's just the way it is." There are schools and schools and schools of tuna, but and it's quite remarkable. But shark bin fishing charters have been getting into them. Have a look at this.
Wow.
Some beautiful.
Just a few? Far out. That's unreal.
It's almost one each, isn't it?
Marco's been doing so well on the tuna. I know he was getting them this morning and this afternoon, some beautiful tuna. So plenty there. He's heading down off Barwon Heads and getting them. Lucas Sabaden, have a look at this. Luca got a lovely one just outside the rip. He was launching off Blair Gowrie, and
it's a good fish.
Some good fish. Yeah. Gotta love the tuna.
Is that Luca getting the rig out for TV?
Young fellow, an up-and-comer, a tack well cramming, I can tell you. Go and ask Luca about the tuna. The kingfish. Now, I reckon evasive would be the word to describe the kingfish at the moment. But Dave Borno, good friend of the shop.
That is a good king.
Out fishing with John Cahill.
That's a really good king.
That is a good king, isn't it? We're allowed to say it was kind of just inside Western Port, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Reports of
I'm
lots
pretty
of kingfish
sure
inside Western Port.
I'm pretty sure, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah.
That's a good fish.
Tiff, there's a lack of freshwater fish. I apologise for that. There's nothing from Chuka Moama. You need to drum up some of the people that you associate with in Moama.
Oh, yeah.
And we want the photos in of the yellow belly, the cod, the trout cod, the silver perch, all that sort of stuff. So let's head down to a place that I mean, I reckon I got 100 photos sent to me in January of a place called Trevally Alley, which is a little bit of channel tiff in Lake Tyers, that a school of trevally that was 62, 63 centimetres were caught in, and that they just say there's 30, 40 people on either side of the bank fishing trevally. You hook up on one, and it just tangled everyone's line. I mean, a 62 or 63 centimetre trevally is a GT.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
a small
unbelievable fish.
So anyway, we got down to Lake Tyers. I went down there last Thursday. They're all gone. King tide came through. But have a look at this. Gary Norton was on the boat with me, and he got a 42 centimetre black brim.
It's a cracking photo too.
It won the comp on the weekend.
Real good fish.
The Aqua Cup.
Amazing. How old would that fish be? Because they're quite a slow growing.
They'd be quite old at that size.
Yeah.
20 plus.
Yeah.
At least 20 plus years.
Jeez.
Yeah. Now, so interesting. I want to hear your thoughts on this ad.
Yep.
Right. Anthony Hurst, who is may I say, Anthony Hurst is the former Executive Director of Fisheries Victoria. He got a 40 centimetre yellowfin bream. In fact, he didn't get one, he got two. He was out fishing with Travis Dowling at Lake Tyers. Have a look at the next photo. Here's some, it just shows the yellowfin bream. Now, they were caught because the entrance is open at Lake Tyers. They were caught within 50 metres of the entrance.
Yeah, because you don't generally see too many yellowfin bream at Lake Tyers. And they're a lot deeper fish. You can see, especially the bottom fish there, they're a lot deeper fish than the black bream.
Yeah.
And they are notorious for running long and hard. It's a completely different fight.
Trav thought they'd hooked up on snapper.
Yep, that's a
he did actually catch a snapper in Lake Tyers as well.
Black bream will dog you around a bit.
So we after we're having a few waters after the comp on Saturday, and Anthony was saying far better eating than a black bream. Now, have you eaten a yellowfin and a black bream?
I've eaten black bream. I haven't eaten yellowfin bream. I've only caught a handful of yellowfin bream over the years. I've never eaten one though. But I have eaten black bream.
Anthony's saying much better, but anyway.
Yeah, okay.
All right, I've got to rush through. Jerry Morseman, have a look at this. Biggest flathead on board the boat I was driving, because that's all I did was drive.
It's a good flatty.
An 83 centimetre dusky
Nice
flathead
fish.
from Lake Tyers. Have a look at that. Fantastic. We were there for the Aqua Cup, which is the Victorian Fisheries Authority's just a little bit of staff R&R fishing comp. It's totally corrupt and, they decide who wins before the comp even starts. But anyway, Jack Bateson, have a look at this, got an 86 centimetre flathead to beat Jerry's. Well, that was caught the day before, so it wasn't even entered. But well done, Jack. A lovely 86 centimetre flathead at a Lake Tyers. Jack and his dad got 17 flathead for the day and took out the Aqua Cup.
Oh, good on him.
Amazing.
That's not bad, because from what I understand, Dave, the fishing was okay. It wasn't unreal. It was fairly tough.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah. So that's a good effort.
A lot of bream caught.
Yeah.
Mainly by Jerry. He did really, really well. But anyway, if you'd like to send in a pic of your catch of the week, this is what you have to do.
If you want to be like me
and have your photo on TV,
email your fishing pics to info@ifish.com.au. Fish on!
I wanna go fishing.
Coming up next, fisheries news, including a sneak peek at the new Kingfish Reef modules headed for Portsea. That's next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
G'day, Callan here from Paul Worsland's Tackle World Cranbourne. Supercharged batteries have been supplying maintenance-free marine batteries since 2001. The Seamaster Gold range is second to none, delivering superior starting power and reserve capacity. No need to top up with water, truly a fit and forget battery. With up to 2 years replacement warranty, you know you have quality. Your battery is your lifeline. Without it, you're dead in the water because it's bloody hard to push start. I've got a Seamaster battery in my boat. Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Live from the studios of Channel 31 Melbourne, it's now time for some very fishy news.
We were just talking about yellowfin bream. So, Tiff, you ever caught a yellowfin bream? You've travelled?
Yeah, I think up in Queensland I've caught one, but never really down, I guess, south. So
Yeah,
definitely plenty of blacks.
I've caught a couple at Malakuta, and I think I may have caught one at Bem one year, but it was hard to tell. It could have been a black bream.
Yeah. So I reckon I used to catch a lot of bream, but then I worked out they were tarwine.
They're cool too.
In Narooma.
Yeah, they're a cool species.
Yeah.
They really are. Fight hard too.
I think I ate them thinking they were bream. I'll eat anything. But anyway. The thing is, a good fishing trip is always enjoyed when you've got a good fish cleaning table.
Yep.
And there's certainly one at Lake Tyers boat ramp that got worked hard by a few people. But the first fisheries news is have a look at this photo. This is Patterson River. At Patterson Lakes, the new fish cleaning tables are starting to be built. Now, I know this got put up on social media for the VFA, and people say those foundations are probably bigger than a house. Other people said, well, if you don't build it right, it's going to crack and not last.
Yep.
This is going to be built to last. So now, if people don't know where this is, there's a toilet block that's relatively new, and it's at the very start of the overflow car park at Patterson River Boat Ramp. Now, people will say, why would you put it there? Well, it's got access to water, access to waste, all that sort of stuff. The other thing is, on those super busy days at Patterson River, people probably won't be able to clean their fish there because it's just too busy.
And it wouldn't have mattered where you put the tables.
But at 300 days of the year, when it's not super busy, people will be able to go there and use it. So anyway, that's where it's at. But I've got to say there's a debate going on now, and let's just see if DELP come to the party, because when the VFA, they're rolling out a program of fish cleaning tables. When you put it inside the overflow car park, DELP have got this stupid thing where they keep the gates closed for
It's an easy fix.
340, what an angle grinder. 340 days of the year, the gates are closed, and they just don't know how to open them. Those gates need to be not just unlocked, but they need to be removed so that people can access the new fish cleaning table. It's just the way it is. It's got to be.
Yep.
So there you go. All right, this is a serious one. Next one. The headline is life jacket trial to make rock fishing safer for keen anglers. The Andrews Labor government is making it safer for anglers to cast a line with life jackets to become a requirement for recreational rock fishing at high-risk locations from the 1st of March 2022. The requirement is part of a 2-year trial and will be rolled out at 10 locations across the state following consultation by the VFA with members of the public, angling clubs, Future Fish Foundation and VR Fish. As a result of the consultation process, the VFA has established Victoria's most dangerous rock fishing spots, with the trial to be enforced at Cape Bridgewater, Artillery Rocks, She Oak Falls, Sorrento Back Beach Rocks, Rye Back Beach number 16, Cape Shank Lighthouse Rocks, Bushrangers Bay Rocks, Pyramid Rocks, San Remo and Punchbowl Rocks. For more information, including maps outlining the 10 high-risk locations and details of compliant life jackets, visit vfa.vic.gov.au/rock fishing. Now, Adam, we talked about this, and Tiff, I'd love your opinion on this. We talked about it on 3MP the other day. Less than a week ago, a young boy got washed off the rocks in New South Wales, just south of Sydney, I think. The father jumped in to save him. Both died, you know, and that mother was there watching that. On the 30th of December, a lady was washed off the rocks at Punchbowl.
Yeah.
And we've seen this happen year on year on year on year. People dying by being washed off the rocks.
Yeah.
What do? A government has an obligation when people are dying and a coroner suggests that you've got to change things, a government has an obligation to change things. And I had a guy ring me up and abuse me. That was in the Herald Sun, I think, on Sunday, and he rang me and abused me on Monday because I am a director of Future Fish and I sat on that committee that had to decide about that. But if this saves one life, it's kind of worth doing.
So what was his argument for not...
He said we're a nanny state and people should be able to make up their own minds. And I said, well, mate, jump in your car and don't wear your seatbelt today. Please don't wear your seatbelt, you know.
Yeah,
just see how you go.
Yeah, this is where the nanny state thing gets crazy. There is a lot of nanny state business going on.
I know, you know, I hate nanny state stuff.
This is not one of them. I wouldn't have thought.
Rock fishing's tough. Tiff?
Yeah, I've definitely done it, and even in WA, like, you know, we did a bit of rock fishing, and I guess they had little anchor points there where you could anchor yourself with a rope.
Really?
In WA. Especially in Esperance, like we did a lot of fishing out at Hellfire Bay, and they had the spots there. They had warning signs up, and like I guess this, you know, this is a good start. Like you see at different places too, life rings and that.
So Angel Rings was a program rolled out through New South Wales, and so once someone got washed into the rocks, washed off the rocks, sorry, you threw them a life ring, and they called it Angel Rings. Sometimes it's too late. Or sometimes that person's 30 metres offshore.
In New South Wales and WA, I'm guessing the life jackets are not mandatory?
So New South Wales, it is now. They were the first to do it.
Okay.
And unfortunately, unless people follow the rules, it ain't going to change. So people have got to follow the rules. And I'm not sure who the authority is that enforces it, but in Victoria, the Fisheries have been able to work it out that the Fisheries is the authority that's going to enforce this.
To patrol and do that.
And issue fines if you don't do it. At the end of the day, you've got to follow the rules if you're going to stay alive. So there you go. All right, got to move on. Getting the yell in the ear. The next one, this is great news. The headline, Golden Tag Competition extended for another year. How good is this? Anglers across the state now have another year to try their luck at catching a golden tag fish worth up to $10,000, with the Andrews Labor government announcing the competition is extended until 31st of December 2022. Launched in February 2020 to encourage visitation to Gippsland and the state's northeast following the season's devastating bushfires, the competition was later extended statewide to support local businesses following pandemic restrictions. Minister for Fishing and Boating Melissa Horne said more than 950 tagged fish are still uncaught, swimming in waterways right across the state, including Lake Eildon, the Goulburn and Ovens rivers in the northeast, Lake Purrumbete in the southwest, and the Kings Billabong in the northwest, just to mention a few. The majority of fish are worth $2,000, however there is still a number of $10,000 fish up for grabs. For more information on the Golden Tag details, terms and conditions, visit vfa.vic.gov.au/golden tag. Now, if anyone listens to Talking Fishing on 3MP on a Saturday morning, we have a regular reporter every week, Brett Gettys, and I mean Brett Gettys has been around forever. Yeah. Been writing for magazines he's only what would he be? 35 years old. He's been writing for the magazines for 45. Yeah, so easily. And a young Brett Gettys, he announced live on 3MP that he'd caught a golden tag about, was it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Now have a look at this. We've got a map to show you. Now we've been able to track that tag, and that tag was a fish released by Jarla Pulford at the announcement of Golden Tag, launched in the North Arm at Lakes Entrance, caught 80 kilometres away 23 months later in the Latrobe River.
That's cool.
That's a good story.
That's cool.
There you go.
I wonder what it's been up
Brett
to.
Gettys. All right, let's move on. Got to keep going. Have a look. Oh, sorry. I just had to read what this was about. Have a look at the photo. This is Arcadia. Less than 12 months since the first sod was turned at Arcadia, there are now 32 ponds constructed and 22 of them are filled. On top of that, 600,000 baby golden perch and 300,000 Murray cod are growing at lightning speed thanks to Arcadia's warm climate. VFA can't wait for the first fish to be released this summer. I'm told it's a matter of days. It's been amazing watching this project grow, and it will produce 1.6 million native fish. Arcadia is another key outcome of the Victorian Government's $35 million Go Fishing Victoria plan to get more people fishing more often. So a brilliant
up and running.
All right, and as promised before we went to the ad break before, there is an exciting project. This has been a little pet one of mine, I tell you. Kingfish Reef. Have a look at these photos. They're actually being built in Tasmania.
Okay.
So they will come across on a barge, but let's filter through the photos. But this is like the mould. There's the concrete.
Pretty cool.
Pouring. And can you imagine a heap of these? The biggest structure ever to be put in Port Phillip Bay will be going in a matter of months.
Amazing.
Now, I actually met with this company not so long ago that are making these, and they showed me video footage. They have put the exact same reef modules off Shoalhaven in New South Wales.
Okay.
And I've never seen so many kingfish.
Wow.
The angle, there's science behind it. The upwellings, the plankton, the food chain is unbelievable. So anyway, being yelled at. Yeah, it's going to be big. All right, coming up next, product of the week, and Cara heads into the kitchen for some very special scrambled eggs. Next on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
Good morning, spotters. Stephanie speaking.
Product of the week, brought to you by Tackle World.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
We're going to launch straight into what makes our favourite pairs of sunnies so special as we look at lenses and different colours of lenses in your sunnies. Dave, because you had a unique experience at your time at Lake Tyers on the weekend where it called for a lens that we wouldn't normally use.
It's the middle one.
The middle one. Extreme is the name of it, and it is a yellow lens aimed at ultra low light conditions, more commonly known in the fly fishing scene. But Dave, you experienced I guess, a situation where you would need them in the salt water as well over the weekend?
I was really angry with myself because, firstly, the new red lens Ignite. I've been wearing these, and they're an awesome glass. But we had a fishing comp that started on Saturday morning. We knew the bank we were going to fish at Lake Tyres for the big flathead, and we left the boat ramp at 6 o'clock in the morning. I reckon by 8:30, I still couldn't put my Ignite lenses on because it was like fishing in the dark, which is, by the way, a very good song. If you haven't ever heard Fishing in the Dark by the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
Send you a copy of himself singing it.
Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, look it up. It's a great song. Anyway, getting off track. I had a pair of extreme lenses in my car, and that's, if you wear it's hard to tell people, but if you wear these, it actually lightens up everything.
Yeah.
And so at 7 o'clock in the morning, when the sun hasn't breached the horizon, because we're a little bit further east than we are in Melbourne, this would have lit up. And can I just read you this, because I got off the Spotter's website today, and I wish I'd have known this before I went fishing on Saturday. In terms of performance, these lenses deliver. It's like turning on an underwater floodlight. You'll see structure like you've never seen it before, showing you exactly where to focus and cast. You'll be able to identify fish, weed and rocks along the bottom with different colours standing out like they're in 3D. We needed to know where the sand patches were and the weed patches were at 7 o'clock in the morning, and we couldn't see them. This increase in your visual ability means your casts are more precise. You'll catch more with fewer casts and less snags. The Extreme lens is a specialty lens designed purely for low light conditions. If you get the chance to try a pair, let your eyes adjust for a few minutes first. You'll be blown away by the detail, colours and depth you'll experience. This lens is ideal for fly fishing. The Extreme is available in Arctic, Christo, Thunder and Fury frames. Custom builds are available in other frames. I wish I'd have known that.
Yeah, so as a quick...
try them on.
Yeah, as a quick recap, while Tiff is having a look at those, we've got 3 different lenses here, a carbon lens, halide lens and the Extreme lens. So they're all a photochromic lens, which means they do have a transition capability. But where Extreme and halide come into their own is that low light, because they do have a colour enhancing feature too. So those light refraction's a big deal when it comes to dealing with shallow water and trying to spot things. Heavy shaded environments like freshwater fishing, estuary fishing. This is where they come into their own. Carbon, great for your blue water, great for your high sun, high glare.
That'd be great in the Murray, Tiff.
Oh, definitely.
Especially on those, and that's the thing, an overcast day where it doesn't feel like you need sunglasses, there's still glare going on, which these 3 lenses completely cut out and allow you to see what you're casting at.
All right, they're yelling in our ear. Cara is in the kitchen waiting. Let's cross to Cara's kitchen and have a look at what she's cooking up this week.
It is great to be back in the kitchen, and 2022 I have some fantastic recipes lined up. This first recipe is inspired by friends who recently took a trip to Adelaide and caught themselves some gorgeous blue swimmer crabs. We're going to turn these into a crab chili scrambled egg dish. To get started, we first need to cook our crabs. So I've got a boiling pot of water, and I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of sugar, and then we'll place our crabs in and we're going to cook them for 6 minutes. The crabs are cooked and they've turned this gorgeous orangey red colour. I'm going to place them onto an ice bath, and this will just immediately stop the cooking process. And while these little guys are cooling down, we can make our scrambled eggs. Before cooking our eggs, we want to get all of our crab meat ready. So this is a painstakingly slow process. We'll remove the legs. And then we're going to peel, removing from the back of the shell. Lift that forward. And then these little pockets here are where we find the crab meat inside the body. And then we need to pull apart the claws and the arms, and that's where the other meat is. And using a small fork, you're able just to sort of scrape it out to extract it. Got 4 eggs in a bowl with some salt and pepper, a little sweet paprika, and I'm going to add some chili jam. It's about a teaspoon, and we'll grate some fresh parmesan, which gives it a nice little salty kick as well. Got some spring onion, and I've also diced up a red chilli. Now if you like extra heat, fry this off first and then add it into the eggs. Whisk this through. Once that's combined, we'll add in some cream. And then we'll heat up our fry pan or saucepan, and these are ready to go. Now the key to making perfect fluffy scrambled eggs is a really nice and hot pan and a generous teaspoon of butter. So I've just got the butter melting at the moment. We'll just coat the sides so that they don't stick. Perfect, we'll add our egg. Now I'm just going to let that sit there for probably 30 seconds or so, and that's going to allow the outside to sort of puff up and cook before we start to fold. And I do like to use either a wooden spoon or a silicone spatula, as this helps keep it nice and soft. Now when we tilt our pan, you can see that the edges start to just fold away, so that's perfect, that's the consistency we're after. So we're just going to give it a nice little slow and soft stir. We're just going to continue with lovely soft folds. We're starting to get less and less moisture and it's starting to firm up. So we'll turn the heat off soon because it will continue to cook, and that's where a lot of people go wrong, and that's when you're going to get rubbery eggs. So when we've still got quite a little loose mix in there like that, I think now's the perfect time to turn this off, and it will keep on cooking. Okay, so right at the very last minute, I've just added in our crab so that we don't overcook this delicate meat. So onto some lovely toasted Turkish bread. We'll put our scrambled chili crab, and we can garnish with a little coriander and another lovely spoonful of that chili jam. And there we have it, our beautiful blue swimmer chili scrambled eggs.
How good was that?
Oh, I thought I knew how to cook scrambled eggs.
You always come out like rubber, you said.
Yeah, I just learned something.
Just learned how to cook some scrambled
what'd you
eggs.
learn?
Yeah, don't just smash them around the pan.
Crabs. You travelled Australia. Did you go crabbing while you were away?
No, didn't
you
actually.
Didn't?
No, we didn't.
Tiff.
No, we didn't even have any gear to do it, but we did see a lot of people doing it.
Yeah,
so.
the mud crabs of northern Australia and
Yep.
blue swimmers. At
At least you know next time you can turn them into some sweet scrambled
We
eggs.
just haven't got it in Victoria.
No, we don't.
You got Murray Craze though. Have you?
Yes.
Have you done that?
I haven't. No, I haven't
Oh,
done that
Tiff.
either. So that's something definitely going to be learning
You've
as
got
well.
to do that. Yeah,
You could do that with Cray, that recipe.
I could do
Freshwater
that.
Cray. Or anyone.
Oh yeah, you could
Not
do
me,
it.
it comes out my
Yeah,
brother.
okay.
Tried.
All right, coming up, Kramer's Mailbag. We're going to talk some more about lake tyres next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
G'day, Callan here from Paul Worsland's Tackle World Cranbourne. Supercharged batteries have been supplying maintenance-free marine batteries since 2001. The Seamaster Gold range is second to none, delivering superior starting power and reserve capacity. No need to top up with water, truly a fit and forget battery. With up to 2 years replacement warranty, you know you have quality. Your battery is your lifeline. Without it, you're dead in the water because it's bloody hard to push start. I've got a Seamaster battery in my boat. Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Now, just before we get into mailbag, Tiff, you recommended that we add to the list for Cara to cook freshwater crays. So we've now got freshwater crays, pike, octopus, she did flounder, brim, know where to get some of them, chinooks, zebrafish, bronze whaler, yakkers, barber perch and rock lobster. So Cara, we've only got 12 weeks, I think.
Yeah, there we go. We've got Cara sorted for the season.
Better get cooking. Anyway, all right, mailbag. This one came through 2 weeks ago. It's, it was the 22nd of January. It was sent to us. It says, this is from Peter. Peter says, Sorrento boat ramp. I was at Sorrento last week, 16th of January, and in all my years of fishing, have never seen the boat ramp in this state. Is there an explanation as to why there is so much sand washed up on the ramp? Thanks for your show, from Peter. Now, Sorrento boat ramp could be in trouble, let me just say, because I'm not going to say why, but we saw Portsea Beach wash away, and about 1 kilometre down the road, the beach is 100 metres wider. That beach is so wide now it can't take any more sand. That sand, because of the wave action on Portsea Beach, is washing around, and the beaches of Sorrento are starting to get wider, and it's also going to affect the boat ramp if nothing's done about the wave action that's hitting Portsea. Something's got to change, because Sorrento boat ramp will be in trouble, I'm telling you.
Okay.
2-3 years, it'll be sanded over, you won't be able to use it. They've got to do something about it.
So
anyway.
who do we go to with that one?
I'm looking after it.
Nice.
All right, this is from Rex from Cooey Rup. Rex writes, cray pots. I think that 1 pot per boat, he sent this a while back, per boat, would allow a fisherman the ability to be able to collect a feed of cray every now and then. You could even put a quota on that by registering the catch with Vic Fish and have a limit per year, per licence holder. Just a few thoughts. I thought I would put it out there. Tight lines, Rex from Cooey Rup. Cray pots. Not talking freshwater crays now, Tiff. We're talking saltwater crays. If you go to Tassie, did you see anyone catching crays? I mean, WA rock lobster are big.
No, definitely heard of a lot of people, I guess, diving for them.
Yeah.
Especially out Exmouth sort of way. So that was something big, I guess, out that sort of region.
Tiger sharks. Yeah.
I did swim with whale sharks. That was
That's
pretty.
cool.
That was amazing.
That's legit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'd be scared to go and get a rock lobster in Victoria because of sharks. I just wouldn't dive in the ocean. But like Tasmania or South Australia, where you can put a pot in, why can't we do it in Victoria?
Yeah, so Tiff, towards the end of last season we had this conversation.
Yeah.
Why in every state in Australia can you have a cray pot but not in Victoria?
Yeah.
Okay.
Travis Dowling needs to be working on this, I tell you what. All right, this is an interesting one. Josh wrote this the other day. Hi, can someone from Vic Fisheries clear this up? Well, I think we can, Josh. What is acceptable to prepare your shark at sea in Victorian waters? Victorian Fisheries state the shark cannot be filleted on or in Vic waters. They must be kept whole or in carcass form, and that is true. Then he says, a well-known personality trunks his gummies, which is what the pros do, which is to bleed, gut and remove the head. Mm-hmm. My local fisheries officer says all sharks must be presented with the head on and not mutilated so the species can be identified by officers. Can Vic Fisheries please clear up this matter by clarifying what exactly is carcass form and updating their fishing rules to clear up this point? Well, I don't think they need to, because if it's going to be landed in carcass form, that includes the head.
Yep.
Simple.
Whole body.
Yep.
Yep.
Got to be like that, so there you go. That was nice and quick. Let's get that over and done with. If you'd like to write into Kramer's Mailbag, this is what you do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
The other thing we did when we were in Lake Tyers is go prawning.
Oh, the best thing.
The prawns. I mean, the entrance is still open, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of just dribbling out. I'm not sure there's anything dribbling in, unless there's a big sort of blow. But here's a photo of what we got on Thursday night, which was a nice tub. And this is what we had for lunch on Friday. Not part of Kramer's Mailbag, even though it says Kramer's Mailbag there, but anyway. Prawn rolls. Ads, you and I used to do this when we used to go down there.
Prawn rolls, beautiful.
Prawn rolls for lunch, freshly caught the night before. The prawns are on at Lake Tyers. If you haven't got a boat and you can't go, brim fishing or flathead fishing, get down there for the prawns. And seriously, a light and a net, and you just walk around out the front of the pub, and they're just there in their thousands.
Yep, and it's easy for kids too, isn't it?
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And because you're a little bit further east, it gets dark about 8 o'clock now. So, you know, it's lighter earlier, but it's darker earlier as well. So you would have seen that in your trip around. So, I mean, time gets away from you, doesn't it?
So different.
In fact, time doesn't mean anything when you're on a trip like you did. So yeah. Hey, Tiff, I wanted to ask you about it is Go Fishing Nagambie this weekend.
That's it. Yeah.
And you're going there on Friday to participate and run some things for the Women in Rec Fishing Network. What are you doing?
So Friday night there's a special Women in Recreational Fishing like seminar, talk, clinics. So Karen and the team at Go Fish Nagambie have set that up, and alongside with Fisheries as well. So they're going to be, you know, some guest speakers there, clinics run, and then it's a good kick-off, I guess, for, you know, the weekend's events.
Am I allowed to tell everyone that you won a caravan at Go Fishing Nagambie in the fish? Oh, well, I just did. You won. Tell us. I mean, I don't know. We probably talked about it before, but tell us the story.
So it was one of the it was the first Go Fish Nagambie, and it was just fishing, casting spinner baits, and I hooked onto a cod, which we'd measured, and it went, I think it was 64 centimetres. At the time, you know, I entered it into the apps with what you had to do, and then realised, oh my gosh, this is part of Cod O'Clock, and I was like, I've won something. I've definitely won something.
What is Cod O'Clock?
So it's an hour of fishing time, and you could win a Jayco camper trailer. Yeah. But I guess, like, at the time when I'd caught it, I didn't realise that was the actual time slot, and then my fish had got, I guess, the closest to that actual size.
Oh, so they nominate a size to be caught in that hour.
And you nailed it.
Yeah. So I waited around all night to the presentations going,
so you knew that you were in with a chance.
Yeah, you definitely knew, like, I guess, you know, with other people that were uploading, because it's like a live feed where you can see who else is, you know, catching fish. So, so much fun. Yeah.
Pretty good. And so this weekend you're there, Worth. Do Worth have a stand or something? Or
I believe so, and there's going to be some clinics and that as well. So
nice. Big comp, and comp. A lot of people are heading up to that, Adam. And you're not going, are you?
No. Working.
A lot of prizes.
Finally.
About time he started working. It's been a long month off. So the prizes for Go Fishing Nagambie are astronomical.
Amazing,
aren't
they? Yeah. There's boats, there's money, there's crazy.
Is it all catch and release? Like, no one knocks one on the head and says this is the biggest cod or anything like that. I mean, there's slot limits, isn't there?
Definitely slot limits, but I guess some people, you know, they would choose to keep their fish to eat, I guess. So there are still people out there that do it, but I guess there's a lot of catch and release fishers out there these days. So.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, coming up, the all-important hotspots. That's next on Talking Fishing.
Talking Fishing.
The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron is a trailer boat and social club on Port Phillip Bay. The club has a great range of facilities, including multiple boat ramps, ample car and trailer parking, boat wash and fish cleaning, fishing competitions and boat safety lectures, boating activities and club events, a restaurant and 2 bars. Easy launch and retrieval makes for a relaxing time on the water for you, your family and friends to enjoy. And boating memberships are now available. The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, the best trailer boat experience on the bay.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now the segment you've all been waiting for, Fishing Hotspots, brought to you by the Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, Melbourne's premier trailer boat club.
All right, just before Hotspots, someone did write to us and say, where do you get these stubby holders? I don't know, it's a brewery in Collingwood or something. We'll find out for you by next week. I know we didn't answer a single message on social media while we're on holidays, and we're proud of it because we actually had a break. But anyway, apologies for not getting back to you, but we will find out where you get these from. We've got a special delivery of them, and we'll find out where. Oh, is it on the sides?
Fizz and Hop.
What? Fizz,
we're allowed to say that.
FIZZ and hop.com.au. There you go. Google that. You'll be able to find out where to get them from. All right, let's kick it off. The hotspots, and it is King George whiting time, even though they can catch them all year round. Well, they've dominated right through snapper season, but if you want a King George whiting, there's no better place than St Leonard's. So that's our number 1 hotspot for all those people in the Bellarine Peninsula.
Yep, and you can pretty well lock that in for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Well, probably until February next year.
Yeah. And then it'll go quiet for a week and be back.
If you want to go out in Port Phillip Bay to another place other than St Leonard's, I reckon this place is on fire. and it gets you away from the boat traffic and it gets you away from everything else. It's a beautiful spot. The Pinnis Channel. If you've never fished the Pinnis Channel, do yourself a favour now. You want... Look, I prefer a run-in tide. It's weird because I fish run-out tides everywhere in Port Phillip Bay. Yep. But if you're going to fish the Pinnis, you want the run-in tide.
Opposite.
Yeah. So you so you want a southerly wind and a run-in tide. Best time.
Interesting.
Doesn't matter whether you got a bit of east or west in it because you'll sit right. But just a beautiful place. Somewhere that's on fire. And I'm going to say the next 8 days are the best 8 days of the month.
Ooh, okay.
For estuary perch in Devil Bend Reservoir. Now I think it's not tomorrow, but next Wednesday. I think it's the full moon.
Yep.
Leading up to the full moon is the best time for estuary perch, and a little bit of glow in your lure.
Yep.
A little bit of fluoro, or top
Surface.
water.
Yep.
A fly with a bit of fluoro.
Yep.
Absolutely dynamite for Devil Bend Reservoir. Get down there, estuary perch, they're good. If you want to get a whiting in Western Port, there is plenty of options. I know we've got a little bit of east in the wind this weekend. There's a good patch of weather, middle of Saturday, gets a bit blowy again Sunday, but there's no better place than Sandy Point down near towards Balnarring for King George whiting.
Sandy Point, we haven't had that one for a while.
Young Don Newman, who's celebrated his 98th birthday during the week. Yep. He fishes down
still
there
going strong.
Going very, very strong. He gives me a progress report on Hastings fish cleaning table every week, even though there's actually been nothing done for the last 4 weeks because they're waiting for the galvanised steel.
But at least nothing's been done, Dave.
No, but he reports to me once a week that nothing's been done.
One day,
it's so good to get that
something
update.
will get done and
I'll be
all over it again.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, there you go. Look at this hot spot, Lake Ngambia. The cod and yellows are on. Well, I hope they are.
We hope so.
There's about 3,000. But do you know how many people enter it? I think it's about 3,000 people.
Heaps,
it's a lot of people.
Yeah, I think some of the entries are even sold out. So
Yeah,
definitely. I've seen some reports of Lake Ngambia, and there's definitely been some good cod reports already. So
there you go. And lucky last, a place to be, like I was last weekend, like you should have been at, you had to work for once in your life, is Lake Tyers, and I've got to say, Duskies, Brim and Prawns, that's paradise.
Prawns, that's the number one on that list, Dave.
Yeah.
Prawns.
There you go. All right, that's hot spots. Do you know what? I was saying earlier on, I didn't catch a fish till 2 o'clock on the Saturday.
Because you're too busy drinking cans.
Well,
not fishing.
I know.
So you didn't have a cast until 2 o'clock.
I had a phone call from Colin Tannehill, who's the managing director of Shimano Australasia, and I said, Cole, I've been down to Lake Tyers for a few days, and he said, how was it? And I said, well, the entrance is open, and so it's nice and fresh. He said, did you catch any flying gurnard? Now, do you know what? The first fish I caught at 2 o'clock on Saturday was a flying gurnard. And, when I saw it, I thought, I'm giving up fishing, I'm going horse riding. I'm going to take up a new hobby. Because I thought, here I am in a brim and flathead comp, and prawns, because I like prawns, and I've caught a flying gurnard, and I thought, what? But Cole said when the entrance is open, the flying gurnard come in for some reason, and he used to go there and catch a lot of them, and they are the best eating.
And they're beautiful.
I threw it back in disgust that I hadn't caught a flathead or a brim, so anyway. Hey, another species, unusual, and I hope they make a comeback one day, is trout cod, Tiff. And you caught one recently. Matt did.
Matt, he caught one last week, I think it was. So we were just fishing in the tinny out around from where we live, and then we thought we'd actually caught a Murray cod, and it wasn't until later on looking closer at the photos that it was actually a trout cod.
So you'd let it go, you hadn't identified it.
Yeah, so we just thought it was a cod, but looking, I guess, back at photos, if you had them side by side, you'd be able to identify them a bit easier. But when you're on the run trying to get them back in the water, actually, that was a trout cod.
So what was different about it?
Definitely the profile of the head was a lot different as well. So, and the colour was slightly a little bit different as well.
I sincerely hope that Victoria can lead the way. I mean, we've got an Arcadia fish hatchery in Snobs Creek. Will get an upgrade hopefully for the next couple of years as well, but that we can actually establish that many trout cod to the point that they're stocked in rivers and start to re-establish themselves, that we actually have a size and bag limit in Victoria for trout cod, and you can actually keep them.
Yep.
Because people say they're a better eating fish than a Murray cod. So
people say that about silver brim as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never caught one.
Yeah.
Do you see any?
I haven't seen one for a long time, but I have caught a few, but obviously you can't eat them. So.
And silver brim, we're talking about fresh water.
Fresh water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. We're spoilt for variety.
At the moment.
Now. There's mako sharks. If you go up the east coast of and into New South Wales, the marlin are on the bite. The kingfish are starting to come on the chew around places like Eden and even off Malakuta.
Yep.
You know, some good kingfish. Yep. We're absolutely spoilt for choice.
Yeah, it's turned into a really, I guess, insane part of the year because there's so many options and legitimate options, not just some things are fishing okay but they go a bit quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't talk much about whiting. David's still the greatest whiting season I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That seems to be getting better. Lakes Entrance is stacked with whiting as well.
It's the go-to species now.
Yeah. That in itself, the King George whiting at Lakes Entrance is an incredible success story because they were practically non-existent for years. And now they're everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Absolutely incredible. Hey Tiff, I want to thank you for coming in tonight.
Thanks for having me.
But it's not a once-off. You're here for the next 3 months.
Here to stay for a little while.
There you go. And you're going to travel down from Moama every week.
It.
So that is a great effort, and you bring a great thing to the show. You've been on a few times, but you're here for the next few months. So great to have you here. All right, that's it for Talking Fishing. We hope you enjoyed the show. Some great weather on its way, and just love this time of year. This weekend we're returning to the 30s. I think we've got a couple of cold days the next couple of days, but returning to the 30s, and there is so much fishing to be had. Make sure you send us your fishing pics. We want you on Catch of the Week. Until we see you again next week on Talking Fishing, please stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time. Enjoy the show, then drop us a line. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing. Talking fishing.
Have a good weekend, Mr. Walker.
You too, son.